All right, what's up, folks? Welcome to Foreign and Domestic. And yes, I am back in the screen. I'm feeling a lot better, folks. It's been a heck of a journey as far as what's been going on. I don't want to get too much into the issues, but I think I've kind of reached a plateau of sorts. So it is what it is, and we're just gonna deal with it and keep on moving on. You know, you can't sit there and sink. So we're not going to sink. With that being said, we are going to throw it over to my good brother, the one, the only, AllenBePro, to please get us started off right.
Absolutely. I mean, if this thing wants to cooperate.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yes,
Thank
rather
you,
barbaric
brother.
here at Foreign and Domestic. I play audio files through my phone to my microphone because why? I would rather spend my money on reloading supplies than an audio interface. On top of that, I might end up going off camera simply because, well, my internet sucks. But other than that, hello and welcome, everyone.
All right. So with that being said, let's jump over to Jamie. Jamie, what you got going on, brother?
Bracing ourselves for some really cold weather coming in, and for you guys, it ain't cold weather. But for here, it's a catastrophe. We're going to be in the teens for about most of this coming weekend. So I'm trying to get the kerosene heater tuned up. Got making sure all the electric heaters are cleaned up and in working order, and got to get ready to get that water dripping. And I know y'all don't have to deal with that, but we do. So there's that. But other than that, it's been a great day, man. Thanks for having me, dude.
Absolutely, man. Those are amateur numbers, brother. They're calling for us to be, and I when I say this, it's just crazy to think about it, but they're calling for negative 34 with the wind chill. It's going to be freaking nuts up here. Absolutely freaking nuts.
That's
Today, where I'm at in Iowa today, real feel was negative 24.
Yep, it's going to be crazy. That's for sure. Pat, what you got going on, brother?
Oh, not much. Just trying to keep warm. Wood in the stove, and I poked at a coyote today, so we got him. So I was happy to do that. Pest eradication. But other than that, man, just trying to keep everything warm, keep everything thawed out, keep my cattle happy, and keep Mama happy. So, which that's a balancing act all in itself. So that's all I'll say about that. So, but no, thanks for having me on tonight, brother. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. Shoot your brother a link, man. If he wants to jump, he's more than welcome. He's more than welcome. Garage guy, what's going on, man?
Oh, I'm doing the same thing as everybody else, getting ready for the cold weather to come. Wind chill's supposed to be about like 15 below here for the next couple of days. But tomorrow, I guess we all got something really good to look forward to right there. Inauguration Day. America.
Absolutely. And my only hope, folks, is this, and I've said this many, many times, is I hope he does what he said he was going to do, because he didn't do it the first time. I know he had a lot of bad people on his side the first time around. I hope he actually steps up to the plate and does what he says he's going to do, because that will make the difference.
Yeah, well, I believe he's got the Senate majority this go around, don't he? Or the majority in both houses?
He's got both, yeah.
Yeah.
But he had a lot of bad people around him in the beginning and throughout the whole BS, and he just went the wrong way with it. And I hope this time he actually pays more attention and, again, just knuckles down and does what he said he's going to do.
What about this Greenland business? What do you think about that?
I've said it many, many times, and this is my personal opinion, and we'll go through the room, obviously, but this is my personal opinion. Quit fucking worrying about other bloody countries. Worry about this fucking nation right here. Worry about the people.
Ultimately, in the grand picture, I believe he actually is. I'm thinking it's more about resources. It's more about drilling. It's more about things that are going to end up boosting the U.S. economy. Yeah, there's lots of talk on the other side, and masses of Greenland don't want anything to do with it. But ultimately, I think strategically, when it comes to resources, he's got his head screwed on straight.
Yeah, I sure hope so, man. It's we've had a heck of a ride the last 4 years, and we had a heck of a ride the last little bit of his first run. So hopefully this time around he does it right. Jamie, what you think, man?
I try not to get into the news, but you just don't go making comments like that about a sovereign country. That's a no-no. And it's just more stuff that he shouldn't be. I mean, you can think it. You just don't say it out loud where people can hear it. You know what I mean? Yeah, you just don't act like that. And I think our neighbors to the north, maybe, I don't know what they're thinking up there. I mean, yeah, Tommy Boy says he's got 200 executive orders ready to be signed. I was watching his rally in D.C., and he's got the village people up there singing YMCA, and I'm like, do you never listen to the words to this crap, man? Come on, dude. Anyway.
See, and this is the thing, it pisses a lot of people off when I say this, but a lot of people out there right now think that he's the fucking savior and we're going to be A-okay because he's jumping in and all this other stuff. And again, I go back to the fact of, look, the last time he was in, he didn't go the right route. He went with what people were telling him what to do instead of actually doing what he said he was going to do. And, a lot of people get mad about that, but how can you get mad when the proof is in the pudding? The pudding's right there, man. And, he's not even in office yet. And he's already doing the same shit, going along the line of what people say and this, that, the other, and out there freaking, it's hard to sit there and say, yes, we're going to be okay. We're this, that, the other. You got to remember, presidents are not elected. Presidents are chosen. And they're put in place, and other people who are way above us, way more money, this, that, the other, are the ones that put them there. And we are told that our vote counts, this, that, the other, and I highly expect everyone to get out there and do their part and do their vote. But end of the day, we all know that it only goes so far.
Well, that is just intolerable and unacceptable.
The advantage that he has now is he didn't know how the politic game was played. Now he does. You know, coming in being a businessman and trying to run things like a businessman. He learned his lesson the first time around. So hopefully he'll be able to use all of that knowledge and actually accomplish the things that he's talked about actually being able to get accomplished.
Yeah, that's the hope. You know, I sincerely hope that he's that was the issue. You know, that's what we saw, but that's sincerely what we hope is the issue, and that he actually turns around and does the things that he said he's going to try and do and get implemented.
And now he knows a lot of the dirty players now. He truly understands who's the turncoats and who's not the turncoats, and who's actually going to be on board and who's just yes men. And yeah. I think he's going to be able to accomplish more. I think this turn round.
Well, and this is the thing of it for me. You know, a lot of people will sit there and kind of be a skeptic to it, but I'm looking at it on the outside of it, going, you got to understand where all of this has come into play. In the past, it's all gone one way, and now we're hoping that he can turn things around. But is he really going to turn things around, or is he just going to keep on playing the game? And everything that you're seeing as far as Ramsworthy, Elon Musk, and all the others, is that just a show? Is that simply a show to get you to think that he's trying to do all this stuff when in actuality it's going the other direction?
I don't know, but I think he's definitely better prepared this time around versus the last go around. So if he's better prepared and he's got the proper people in place to actually make change, then yeah, that's great. So I see him doing things a lot better this go around as far as getting the right people in places. So I don't know. I guess time will tell. That is the ultimate factor is time.
Yeah. Also, he doesn't have to worry about re-election. He can be more decisive this go around.
Right. And I agree with Walter. There's, die is cast, and we got to think positive. We want things to go the right way. We're hoping to go the right way. And then on the flip side, you also he's only got 4 years to do this. And,
But does he? Somebody clarify this for me, because the actual rule states that a president can't do 3 terms successfully. So he did a term and then he wasn't in office. And so now he's back in office. So somebody explain it to me. Legally, could he end up running another term after this? Anybody know?
Yeah, I've heard that thrown around a lot, and honestly, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it has to be concurrently. 2 terms, I believe that's it. Unless you're a vice president at the time, something happens to the president, and then you go in, become president, and you're in there for like 2 years or less, then you can still run for 2 terms afterwards, or serve 2 rather. But I think 2 terms is the limit.
Well, I believe, like Alan's saying, it's 2 terms consecutively, and Gunpowder's out there saying can't do 3 terms consecutively. Well, it wouldn't be consecutively because he didn't get in last time.
Yeah.
So, is that a thing?
I don't think so. Grover Cleveland was only other president elected non-consecutively, but back in they didn't have set term limits. But as far as Trump, I don't know, but I'm leaning towards just serving 2 terms consecutive or not.
I'd have to dive into that a little more and see. But there's a lot of talk, and this is a good segue. There's a lot of talk about how they think Trump wants to change it to where it's one person in power versus the system that's in place. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
Absolutely not. I don't think one person should be in power for that long, for an extended period of time, because you could get somebody like Biden in there and have a really bad run. Let's say he was a younger man with these stupid ideologies and things that he's forced upon the people of the United States. Boy, you could have a Russia, you could have a China, and I just don't see that working out very well. I don't.
Okay, so from the folks out there, looks like the 22nd Amendment prohibits it, and
and the basic speech of the 22nd Amendment states that no president can be elected more than twice.
When that changed, right? FDR was elected to 4 terms. He died in office in 1945 after beginning his 4th term.
Now, I haven't heard any of the rumor speculation of Trump turning it into a dictatorship. Fuck that. That sounds like major leftist agenda propaganda bullshit to me.
No, and I think it is too. But I've seen a lot of it out there. But I absolutely 100% agree. I think that it's just the media and how the media wants to portray it.
Well, anyway, how old will Trump be at the end of this coming term? 82, 83?
Yeah, he'll be in his 80s. Yeah.
Yeah, he might have some problems with himself, by that time.
So there's a couple of different bills out there right now. One is to basically make concealed carry nationwide. And I don't know how far it's going to go, but it's out there, and we hope it will go through, but you never know. Hoping that potentially, Trump will step in and put his word in as well, but again, you never know.
Yeah, in his position, there's only so much he can do. Yeah, he can talk to people behind closed doors and whatnot, but until the bill reaches his desk, there's nothing he can do about it, really. Is he able to be influential? Yes, but ultimately, he can't actually push a bill through or anything of that sort. So this is where us having a Republican House and Senate is cynical, and people like ourselves making sure that our representatives all know that this is what the people want, and they won't have jobs if they don't give us what we want, because they work for us.
Right.
Well, if I remember correctly, when he on his first term, he had the House, he had the Senate the first 2 years he was in, and not near as much got done as what he wanted to get done. So
Yeah,
we'll
they
see.
were. I mean, and we've seen it before when the Republicans have the House and the Senate. They just like let sleeping dogs lie, and they don't go after fucking anything. I don't understand how the Democrats go after everything like massively when they have any kind of excessive power. But Republicans, they just kind of just let it fucking be whatever it is. No, fuckers, you're in there to fucking fight for the people that fucking elected you. Do your jobs.
Well, and the one thing that we see a lot of is it seems like, and I may be wrong, but it just seems like you see a lot more cases going to the Supreme Court when Democrats have a lot more control versus Republicans. Republicans are not pushing the cases to the Supreme Court.
Yeah, that's true. Especially, well, how much gun stuff have we got pushed through to reverse stuff versus when Biden was in power versus when Trump was in power? We fought 10 times harder on all the gun stuff these last 4 years than the 4 years before that. GOA and everybody bringing all these suits and everything. It's been pretty hardcore the last 4 years.
Well, and that's sort of what I'm saying is simply because because everybody's feeling like they're threatened is why they're on the defensive. Well, you know what? If you have a chance to be on the offense, then go on the damn offense. You don't just sit with your thumb up your ass and wait to be defensive.
Right. And this is one of the best quotes that I heard from somebody. I can't remember where I heard it. He said, Republicans do their best fighting when their back is against the wall. And unfortunately, I think that's true.
That's 100% true. And Ozzy probably has the best comment of the night. We're not even 25 minutes in, but rhinos, man. Rhinos are out there constantly, and that is one of the biggest things that we come across. And one of the biggest things that we are consistently fighting is all the rhinos. They say they're this when they're not, and they are pushing all kinds of different things through. And so many people are out there again saying they're one thing when they're not this, that, the other, and it causes a major problem and major issues. And end of the day, you got to think that a lot of times. Here's another issue that I've seen too is because they see that you are a registered Republican, they expect you to vote Republican, or if you're a registered Democrat, they expect you to vote Democrat, et cetera, and you get out there and you go vote, and a lot of times, so many people do just because they are Republican. They go out there and they hit Republican, but they're not actually looking at what the person is standing for, what they're looking at, what they're doing, and this, that, the other. And They just randomly go through and click yes, 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 instead of actually going and researching this person and having a good understanding and going and researching the Democrat. Because you know, I'll say it. You know, I got no issue saying it. I have absolutely voted for some Democrats. Why? Because some of the Democrats that I've researched actually have good stances on things that actually fucking matter. And go do your research before you vote. The problem is people don't research. They just go out there and randomly go boom, 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 boom down the list, and that's all they do.
I don't understand why we have to register as one party or another party. Shouldn't we just, you're just registered to vote?
Well,
they shouldn't have preliminary. Sorry, I can't speak. I have brain damage. They shouldn't have
Preliminaries?
numbers ahead of time of about how many Democrats, how many independents, how many Republicans, how many, whatever. It shouldn't matter. It really shouldn't fucking matter.
It shouldn't, but here's the thing, and this is something that I thought about this past election was, they're sitting there and they're going, we're predicting this for this state, we're predicting this for that state. Well, how are they predicting that? They're predicting it based off of how many people have registered as a Republican and how many people has registered as a Democrat. That's how they're basing it. And yes, they're going through and waiting for this, that, the other, but they're literally sitting there and basing it off of what you said you are. So to me, it should be there shouldn't be a line of, hey, I'm this, that, the other. It should be nothing. You should be able to just go out and do what you need to do, and there shouldn't be, I'm on this side, I'm on that side. There's a fine line there, absolutely fine line. And to Savage Lee out there, man, I live in the United States of America. I'm an American, and yes, sir, I can have firearms. I got plenty of them. I fucking love them, and God bless America.
And there you go.
Amen, and pass the ammunition.
So I learned something today about the transfer of power and what actually happens physically in the White House on the day of inauguration. The exiting president leaves the facility 10, 11 o'clock, and the teams that rework the White House have about 5 to 6 hours to do everything, to get everything ready for the incoming president. If that's completely remodeling, it's all the tearing out carpets, rugs, putting in new carpets, rugs, painting, all maintenance, all the at the point of election, they start hitting up the incoming president and their family. And the first lady actually is given a list of White House relics that they have free reign of saying, yeah, I want this brought in, this brought in, this brought in, this brought in. We're going to put it there. And so I found it very, very interesting that they had this team that resets up the White House for the incoming president. They can't actually do anything until the exiting president leaves the facility, and then they've got like 6 hours to do everything. So it was kind of an interesting thing to learn today.
I bet they're well paid for that.
I mean, I would think so. I mean, holy shit, 6 hours and that's all they got?
Yeah,
They better
Oh,
be
yeah.
well fucking paid.
getting that.
Yep.
Yeah,
Well,
it's months in planning, right? Months and months in planning, but it's everything down to the carpet in the Oval Office to what kind of toothpaste the president uses. Everything, so that it's completely and entirely ready to run the second the president puts his foot on the White House grounds. Just massive undertaking, and not one that I would be jealous of a job to do. No, got no interest.
Well, what happens, man? The way I see it, way I
Yeah,
have
absolutely
it.
not. It's whoever is in charge of that. It has some big cojones, man. They got their work cut out.
The way I see it, the new president's only bringing in his clothes. I mean, he's bringing in a couple of suitcases. Everything else belongs to us, and they're fixing it up the way they want it. And so the exiting president's got his clothes packed up already. So get on, come on in.
Well, and that's the thing. The White House stays exactly as it was throughout their entire term until the president actually leaves the facility. So at that point, everything gets packed up. And, they've got to keep meticulous records because everything that belongs to the White House goes into the White House storage, and everything is stupidly documented. And anything that they received as gifts that technically belong to the White House, they belong to the people. And so all of that. So if a president's son gets a game system during their presidency, he has to give up that game system at the end of the presidency, and it stays in where it lived until the president leaves the facility. It's pretty bitchin' stuff. Yeah, there's a number of rooms in the White House. The White House has got like 35 bathrooms, for God's sake. But there's a number of different rooms that will perpetually ever stay the same. Like, off the top of my head, the Lincoln Room.
Right.
The Lincoln Room is exactly the same as it was under Lincoln. It has the bed that the man passed in. And so that room will never be touched when changing anything up. It is exactly the way it was under Lincoln.
So let's say hi to Montana Musings Outdoors channel. Appreciate you jumping in, man. Glad you're here, and welcome. And hopefully you can show up more, and we'll be glad to see you. Appreciate you. And let's see who else we got out there. We got Chessboard out there. We got MCK out there. And they're rocking up in the side chat. Vanessa jumped in. Good to see you. And we'll have Alan go through the side chat here shortly. So
you do know that President Lincoln did not die in the White House, right?
Well, yeah, he was shot in the theater.
And he died in a rooming house across the alley.
Yes.
In a bed that was too short for him.
They still took his body and put it back into his bed at the White House prior to taking him out of the White House. But yeah, he died across the street. Yes.
From the theater.
Now, you could probably remember the address being how you were there, but
you know, I have been there, but I forget the address.
Well,
he was a nice guy to meet, but one hell of a tight handshake. Damn.
After all your years, I'm not surprised you forget.
Dadgummit, boys. Mark, help me.
Oh. We didn't pick on each other, then we wouldn't like each other, right?
Damn right. I've always told people for many years, if I'm not giving you shit, I don't fucking like you. It's pretty simple.
Oh, and fun fact, the new president has already been sworn in. And you want to know why? It's because it's the weekend. Everything's been shut down, and that's why Biden gave his farewell speech on Friday. Because Monday is a national holiday. So all the paperwork and everything's already been done. He is actually our president as of right now. I had somebody, I was hollering at a friend, and he's a part of the Republican Party out there in DC, and he says, yeah, he's already sworn in. He says that Monday is just the pomp and circumstance. He says that's just the show. He said since everything worked the way it was, he says he's already sworn in.
Well, Ozzy, you're not on here. You don't have a great beard like Jamie does, so we can't confirm or deny these facts that you're saying. And we can confirm that Jamie has an awesome beard. We can confirm that Jamie looks old as fuck. And so unless you're on here, we can't confirm or deny.
Damn.
That was brutal.
Yeah. The first one was a shot across the bow. That one was a direct hit.
See, I've been dealing with this ever since I went on with Rich and won the Civil War Jeopardy game.
I forgot all about that.
Yeah, that's when it started. It's like, Eliardo won. He was there. I'm like, golly.
Yes, sir, you were.
No, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it.
Say it. Come on, man.
Sorry, something just ran through my head. Sorry, Jamie, I got to say it now. Was that you in the picture beside General Lee?
That was Stonewall Jackson, but
Oh, okay. Wow, I got it mixed up. I knew you were in one of those pictures.
there's this big rock down just off the perimeter around Atlanta, and they have a carving of Jefferson Davis, Robert E. Lee, and Stonewall Jackson. But Stonewall Jackson, as y'all probably know, didn't make it through the war. He died by friendly fire. Wasn't that Appomattox garage guy?
I think so.
First bull run, as we call it.
Yeah, I believe it was. Ooh, Bama Dad's on a roll tonight.
He is, ain't
he? Yeah.
Well, I think he's slightly wrong. I don't think it was under Biden's desk because you all know Biden was a puppet. It was probably under Obama's desk.
Yeah.
It was just stuck to the floor and they couldn't get it off.
Big Al, have you ever been to Stone Mountain? There's some talk to having that carving removed from that rock. I hope that never happens.
Why would you want to move a historical piece like that from its original place?
No, they're talking about blowing the carving off of the rock.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just why would you want to remove that? Where it's at right now.
They've been destroying different ones all around the country for the last,
Well, yeah, that's true.
4 or 5 years, if not longer. They've been doing that.
Yeah, they got rid of some up in Richmond here, but that's like 6 hours away from me.
One of my friend's father carved that into that rock.
Isn't that something right there, man? That's something you can say you know somebody that did that.
Yeah, unfortunately, as humans, we have this tendency to, if we go and try and take over an area, they go in and take out all the historical documents and relics and everything else, so that in 2 to 3 generations, they can basically rewrite the history and convolute how things actually happened, what actually happened, and make themselves look like the saviors of all time. And we see this in generation after generation after generation. We see it in countries all over the world. Even to date, there's still groups that are eliminating history in the Middle East, so that they can later rewrite history to make themselves look unlike the monsters they are, I suspect.
Yeah. That's exactly right, Big Al.
Well, speaking of the Middle East, what was it after that horrific withdrawal from Afghanistan and all the terrorists flooded back in again? There was something of, I can't remember what it was, a bunch of statues or something out there, Buddhist statues or something that got completely destroyed out there. I can't remember the exact thing, but been standing there for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years out there, and they hadn't touched it up until we left. So I can't remember what it was. Something of big significance. It's slipping my mind right at the moment. But it was something pretty big of historical.
Yeah, I think it was carved into the face of a cliff or something. I know what you're talking about. And when that Syrian civil war started, when ISIS went into Syria, they had destroyed several really historical monuments that had been there 600-700 years.
Speaking about destroying history, welcome everybody to Professional Amateur.
What's up, guys?
Hello, Mr. Bald.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
I can hear you.
What's going on, Val?
I just figured I'll pop in for a quick second as I'm getting ready to go see. So,
Well, now that Val's hooked up with a chick that's entirely too hot for him, we'll probably end up seeing less out of Val.
Well, hold on. I gotta say something, and I hope it does not happen. But he took her to Vegas. and y'all know what happens in Vegas.
Yeah, no, you don't have to worry about that. None of that is happening in Vegas, at least not right now. Although eventually she might be my future ex-wife.
I know what happens at Vegas. Hookers and blow. How does that work out if you take a female there?
Well, I know I'm not. I don't run in the same circles you do, so that's not really happening to me. I'm here just to have a good time. Going to a range day tomorrow. I signed up for the Gandhis. Go see the Gandhis Awards tomorrow. So we're just here to have a good time. Hell, I even took my girl to a Magic Mike show yesterday, and it was such a success. They actually offered me a job over there.
I'm just glad
What
that
is
you
it?
are doing better and you're on your way, man, and you found yourself someone else, and I'm just glad about that, man.
Professional
Thank you.
amateur, did they offered you a job? I thought they
Yeah,
already had plenty of people that applied oil to the dancers.
no. They want me to dance. They saw my moves and they were taken away.
Ah, so now you're going to do choreography.
Choreography? No. They like my moves, the way I move. Ever since I lost the weight and I got me a new SO in my life, I picked up a couple of new moves.
Well,
Well,
I
I
mean,
didn't think anybody could
Yeah,
teach you anything, but apparently she's good for you.
yeah. Well, you know what? After 2 years of shit, I finally have a little enjoyment in my life.
Bama Dad hit it on the mark.
I can see the comments, so
You're
Does that,
you're installing the poles for the dancers.
while the professional flopper, no, thank you.
does that make him the professional inspector of polls?
It's,
Yeah, certified pole inspector.
it's really good to have friends that can hold you up when you're down and knock you down when you're doing a little better. You know, I guess that's when you know who your true friends really are.
Hey,
I,
man, we're all here
I,
for you, brother. We're all
yep.
here for you.
Yeah,
I'm
I can
sorry.
tell you.
Bama Dad left it hanging out there. I just had to add to it. I couldn't help myself.
No, Daniel, she does not. She doesn't shoot, not yet. Anyway, I mean, working on that. But she is a big football fan. Apparently, now she's trying to teach me how the football works. And we got who's playing Buffalo and who? Buffalo and Ravens, right? And whatever. I don't know. Apparently, we're supposed to be rooting for Buffalo. I don't know why.
Sorry, Montana, to let you know, I have won that award 3 years running now. So I gotta.
I was gonna say that I was gonna say that professional amateur has that record, and but apparently Allen has taken the record.
Actually, tomorrow's the first time they're gonna have the actual Gummies Award, not just live like you can watch on TV, but you can actually attend it. So I bought a ticket for me and a lady, and we'll go check it out.
You know, one
Uh,
thing though, Allen can say that Ball is not done, is Allen has wrote a book, and Allen has that book for sale, right, Allen?
Yeah, I do.
what?
Actually, I have a very prestigious copy of it of astrophysics for antisocials. It's It is got my picture on it, my name on it, and I have a book, and it is for sale. You can probably find it in the bottom of the bargain bin at any dollar store.
Is it right there with the Hillary Rodham Clinton's book that currently sells for like a 99 cents?
Yeah, actually, I was thinking about making it 3 for 99, just to boost the numbers, but
I like to see a YouTuber that has goals, and Montana has goals. Montana says he wants to make it next year. So there you go, man. You got goals, man.
Anyway, it looks like we have somebody else in the chat too.
Yeah, we need to say hello to Kentucky Rimfire Plus, Country Rimfire Plus. Sorry
Country
about that.
Rimfire. Country Rimfire. What's going on, man?
Howdy, folks. What y'all up to?
All right. So for everyone that does not know who you are you and what you got going on your channel, brother?
I do mostly rimfire stuff. I like challenge targets, and I just recently started making my own targets to release to the guys out there that have nothing to do this winter. And I do other stuff. That's the plus part of it. But I haven't got into a whole lot of that yet because I've been so addicted to this 22 precision rimfire thing. But yeah, that's what I do. And if you want to come check it out, grab some targets. I got my email in the description of my videos, and you'll have something to plink at during the winter.
Awesome, man. Well, we're glad to have you, and pipe up whenever you want to pipe up, dude.
All right, man, I will. Thanks for inviting me.
Absolutely.
Hey, Fuzz Fork, that's less of a book and more of an instructional pamphlet. It's not very long, but it's a very simple do-it-yourself instruction pamphlet on how to ride a home on a camel. Yeah.
Well, you would be an expert for DIY projects.
I was going to write an entire book on that, but it's such a niche market. Some people just don't have anything at all to do with camels, and I'm okay with that. I particularly don't like the nasty, disgusting animals as it is, but if you are in the market to know how to ride a camel's hump, there is a very instructional, informational packet out there for you written by myself.
All right, so we're almost halfway through, and I'm trying to keep composure. That's not gonna happen. Jamie, do me a favor, brother. What do you want people to type out there so they can get the name called out on TV? And Allen will do the honors of calling them out on TV.
Well, I was thinking we should type in the name of Allen's book, but let's just go with the instructional pamphlet and write hump. That's going to get me kicked off YouTube, man.
All right, I got it one, guys. Thanks for having me real quick. I just wanted to chime in real fast. If anybody out there is coming to SHOT Show or is in Vegas, hook me up, send me an email. I'm here all week.
All right. Take care, Val. Be safe, brother.
Yep. Have fun, Val.
And don't do something fucking stupid.
Yeah, no worries. I got somebody watching over me.
Nice to kind of
Like
meet you, man.
assignment with Olight. Stay away. Stay away. Nevertheless, participants list, according to the YouTubes there, we got Bama Dad, Big Al, Bobby Barlow, Daniel got as my judge, Edward Petty, Fuzz Fork 8, Garage Guy 879. We got Kyle out there, M7 MCK. Now, the most irrelevant gun tuber, Montana Musings Outdoor Channel, whatever. Ozzy Osbourne, Pat in the Bunker, Tactical FUD. We got Tactical Rabbit 308 out there, the High Desert Pioneer. Yep. Lots and lots of great people. Good to see everybody out there this evening, especially that's interested in learning how to ride a camel's hump.
Absolutely. Lots of good folks out there. Appreciate y'all.
I'm not going to comment on that last one. I'm just going to leave that one lay right there.
Pat, sorry I missed your little takeover there, but I seen it like an hour after you guys were done, or I would have been in there with you.
No, that's all right. It was fun. Might be doing another one coming this Friday. So,
Awesome.
So we'll see what happens.
Scotsman, are you doing the same thing you were doing last night with that triple ale?
No. So right now I'm drinking a Dogfish 60-minute.
Oh, nice.
You sure it ain't a hard seltzer?
It's not a hard seltzer, man. That shit has and shit is a nice word for it. That shit has a place of its own, and that place is somewhere downrange, and that's where it belongs. It does not belong anywhere in anybody's body by any fucking means of the matter.
I'll second that motion. I'll second the motion.
Straight down range and blown the fuck up is exactly what that shit deserves.
If you would like to get rid of your unwanted cans of hard seltzer, please send them to.
Yeah, I mean, you're welcome to send them to me, Hillbilly, or any one of us, and we'll happily dispose or take care of it, if you would prefer that term of. We'll take care of the pertinent issue that you have, and they are an issue. So. Yeah, we can throw them down range and we'll blow them the fuck up.
I like reactive targets myself. Now, but they're the funnest to shoot.
Absolutely. Tomorrow's supposed to be really, really freaking cold, and I think I'm gonna try and get out there at some point and throw down the last. The other cans that I have of hard seltzer that has not been consumed or shot as of yet. I drank the one can. I still have 5 cans, and yes, there's 5, and they are going downrange. And we'll try and get them downrange. Hopefully tomorrow. It's supposed to be really freaking cold, so I don't know, but we're gonna try. We'll try to get out there and. They'll go up against some 44 Magnum, and we'll see what the 44 Magnum does to some hard seltzer.
I can't think of a better thing to shoot at right
now. I can't think of a better caliber to use. I mean,
it's pretty hard to beat.
It's been said many times, but 44 will blow your head clean off, man.
So, maybe just a couple times.
Just saying.
The 144 that I always wanted wasn't even necessarily a pistol. It was Ruger's Oh, it had the stainless barrel with the synthetic stock on. I can't remember the name of it now. They had it in 357, 44. The stock kind of looked like a boat paddle. It was all carved out to be light and everything on it. My buddy's got one, and I can't remember what it is. But man, that with the 44 mag coming out of a rifle on that little 16-inch barrel rifle with the scope on it, man, that makes for a good pistol caliber rifle. Really
buddy,
does.
a buddy of mine I work with, he's been in the side chat on Hillbilly's show before. Smoking Joe has a Ruger Deerfield, and it's chambered 44 Magnum. Looks just like a muscled up 1022. And you talk about a sweet shooter. I think he got it back about 2001 or something, maybe. Bought it brand new. He's been the only owner. And he let me borrow it. And I got a couple of videos of it on my channel.
Oh, okay. I'll have to go over and check that out.
All right.
I just wish I could remember the name of that Ruger, though, because it's really cool. My buddy's got one.
Yeah, this is a Ruger, too.
Oh, okay. Is it carved out on the stock where it's kind of thin right through the middle, but it's beefed up on the top and on the butt stock and everything itself?
Well, it's like a beefed up 1022. It looks like a 1022 on steroids. Jamie's seen them before. He knows what I'm talking about.
Okay, I gotcha. Yeah, I just wish I could remember the exact names.
Yeah, they're very nice guns.
Yeah.
What you're talking about is what they refer to as the boat paddle stock. It's a skeletonized stock.
Yep.
It's synthetic.
Yep.
But the one that Garage Guy's talking about, it literally is a 1022 and 44 Magnum.
Yes.
Nice.
They called it. I've heard it called a couple of things. What was that? You call it a
Deerfield.
Deerfield?
Yeah. FIELD. Smoking Joe that night, he put it up on there. I think he'd been hitting the Bud Light a little bit. He spelled it FILLED.
Oh, there we go. The M77.
Oh, yeah.
Zytel stock. Okay. All right.
But
Cool.
it'll do that to you.
What's that?
Bud Light will make you misspell things.
Well, you know, when you drink absolute piss water, you're gonna have that.
I knew that was coming.
Hey, I'm just telling you how it is, folks. You drink piss water, you're gonna talk piss. So.
Well, no, I'd be disappointed if you hadn't have brought it up.
Right? I got the throwdown last night when I told them what I was drinking. Yeah, I'm still hurting.
You know, feelings be damned, people. I don't care about your damn feelings. Y'all can say this, that, the other about whatever you drink, but it's piss water. It ain't good.
Let me show a picture of this thing, Scotsman. Is that all right with you?
Absolutely, brother.
It looks exactly like it looks like a cross between a 1022 and an M1 carbine, but it's 44 Magnum, and it.
Yeah.
That is a good looking gun. I like the way that's set up. That is beautiful.
Yeah, wow, that's pretty cool.
There's a better look at the whole thing.
It's even got the rotary magazine.
Yeah, I like that top guard right there too, like a M1 carbine or a.
Yep, it's exactly like an M1 carbine. I've seen a few of them over the years. I haven't been fortunate enough to be able to purchase one at the time, but yeah, it's exactly like an M1 carbine. They're really freaking nice. Ruger did a nice job when they made them.
They have a Deerfield carbine and 44 Magnum and a Deer Slayer. That's the Deer Slayer.
I'd take either one.
There's the Deerfield. I can't tell the difference.
I can't
All right,
either.
let me address the comment here real quick. So we have Ozzy out there. Ozzy says, "I like my beer like I like my women, Busch Light." Okay, Ozzy, if you ain't got a woman with a good bush, man, you got a problem. You gotta have a decent.
Oh Lord,
dude, come on, man.
Here we go.
Don't be sitting there going, "It's got to be fucking shaved clean, this, that, the other." Get the fuck out of here, man. You got to have a decent frickin' bush. What is wrong with you people? Come on, Ozzy. I know you better. Come on, dude. You got a cool name like Ozzy Osbourne, and then you frickin' go out there and say, "I don't want no bush." Really?
All right, here is the boat paddle stock. Are we going to get in trouble for this?
I don't care, man. Do what you got to do, man.
Oh, wow. That's nice. Look at
Yep.
that.
There you go. That's exactly what he's got right there. Yep.
No, YouTube regulation says that we can't handle them. It doesn't say that we can't show images of them. In no way, shape, or form are we advertising these particular items. We are not attempting to sell these items. So YouTube, go eat a bowl of dicks.
Right.
Yeah,
Alan, you really should be a disclaimer guy. You should be the voice of the disclaimer at the end of everything.
Well,
along with the bowl of dicks.
So I'm glad Alan brought that up. But Alan, you haven't done your usual thing for us. For the YouTube person out there that is auditing us, you've not gone ahead and let them know exactly what they can do.
Right. And the part of the reasoning is simply because, well, they only jump in at the very last 2 minutes of the show, I've come to find. And so I've kind of held that off because I hadn't seen them as of late, until it's too late. They come in at the last 2 minutes of the show and then just completely tear us a new one because YouTube can eat a bowl of dicks. They frequently do. But yeah, I will be a little bit more tentative, sir.
Okay. All right. And Ozzy says he was born in 1960. He knows a lot about Bush. Well, I'm kind of disappointed because I think you'd know more about Bush having all these years of experience. And here you are saying no Bush. So I'm kind of disappointed in you, man. Ozzy, you got to rethink things. Rethink things, man. Come back with a better attitude. And Alan always enjoys poking the badger. Alan doesn't really mess with badgers. Alan messes with, what is it, folks? Camels. That's right. Camels. He doesn't mess with badgers. He messes with camels. Alan, you're being accused of messing with poking the badger. And I told people you don't mess with badgers, you play with camels.
Very, very valid point. I mean, camels bite, but badgers have sharp teeth. So, you have to, that plus you got to wrap them on duct tape so they don't explode.
Yeah, looks like Daniel's got a couple of good comments out there too.
Don't be bringing any kind of limelight to frickin' Daniel. Daniel thinks he should be the star of the show, and he's not here. So why should we highlight his comments? Pat, since you sir come up with a lot of good topics on a lot of different streams, please, sir, give us a topic. Give us something you want to hear.
Okay. We'll shoot this around the horn since I was talking about the M77 in different pistol caliber carbines. If you had the choice, what pistol caliber carbine would you have in your arsenal? Any type. It could be a Ruger, it could be, God forbid, Kel-Tec, but anyway, just something like that. That you wanted to use as a rifle or just CQB, whatever. It just your heart's content. What would you like to have? Rifle with the pistol caliber.
A dream pistol caliber carbine is going to be a completely different thing. One that is actually on the agenda is the Ruger 10 millimeter. I get that the damn thing looks like it's a fucking ripoff of a goddamn Kel-Tec. I understand that. Though another one of the things that I absolutely despise is that it takes mags. But nevertheless, 10 millimeter carbine, that's just tasty to me. And so that's the reality carbine for me, the reality PCC that I am interested in at this moment.
All right, cool. What about you, Jamie? What if you could have any pistol caliber carbine or rifle? What would you like to have?
Already got them, man. I'm assuming that lever actions count for this, correct?
Oh yeah, that was the original pistol caliber carbine, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, I have the Ruger made Marlin and 44 mag, and I've got a Rossi 357, Rossi 92, and 357 38. Love them both, man.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I for this bed too. Does Rossi still make that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, what about you, Country Rimfire? What would if you had your pick of the litter, what would you pick out?
I would also pick the 357 Magnum, and so and have it shoot 38 special too if you had to. I didn't know Rossi made that. Now I'm going to go look it up.
Learn something new every day.
They make them in 357, 45 long Colt, and 44 Magnum.
Wow, nice.
And I'm starting to see some Colt single action Army clone revolvers in 44, which
nice.
I kind of need a couple of those in my life.
Right. So, Garage, what do you got?
Well, I got to go with Allen, that new Ruger 10 mil. I saw Hickok's video of it, and man, he was having a good old time with it. Thing ran great, no problems. And lever gun 44 Magnum. Henry Rossi.
Well, Garage Guy, what about that? What about that one we just showed the picture of, that Deer Slayer? That's pretty cool. That's technically a pistol caliber carbine.
Yeah, it is, but Smoking Joe will probably be buried with his because I know he ain't gonna sell it.
They're not making them anymore, but you can probably, if you find one. I got a buddy at work that had one and sold it, and I'm like, why'd you sell it? He said, I wanted to trade it for something different. And I'm like, why? Lord have mercy.
I mean, the thing is so simple to operate, so easy to take care of and clean. I mean, it's no big deal. They don't make them no more. Like I said, Joe, he ain't gonna get rid of it. So
Y'all need to remember something. If you get to that point where you think I'm not going to be here much longer, or this, that, the other, and I want to get rid of this, or I want to get rid of that, please, please talk to the people around you. Talk to one of us. We'll be happy to buy it from you. Don't flog it to some guy that has no absolute freaking idea of what it is or what's going on with it. Sell it to one of us that actually knows what it is and what it means.
Can I add on to that, kind of pile on a little bit?
Absolutely.
Yeah, go for it. Absolutely.
I don't want to badmouth anybody's youngins or anything like that. But if you think as a gun collector, you're going to pass all your stuff down to your children and grandchildren, well, you better be teaching them about the values and the traditions of gun ownership and what these things are worth and how precious they are to you. Because I'm here to tell you, I've seen it too many times. Easy come, easy go. They didn't go to work every day to earn the money and struggle to buy those guns. They're going to look at it as a quick windfall. And first time they need some money, they'll sell it for half of or a quarter of what it's worth. Some guy will be thinking, well, he don't know what he's got. And he'll be right, because he don't. So when it comes that time in your life to where you know that your health is declining to the point you can't shoot like you used to or that you want to, and you're concerned, just sell the stuff and get what they're worth.
With that being said, Daniel, I'm not sure what you have too many of, but let's talk.
Well, Jamie, you're absolutely right. For the last several years, I've gotten with my granddaughter, and me and her sit here and talk for long periods of time about certain firearms I have. And, I say, would you be interested in learning to shoot this caliber or that caliber or whatever? And she's got up now. She's up to 357 Magnum. And as far as handguns go, it took a little while to get her there, but the first time she shot it, I only had one round in it. She laid it down for a minute, and then she come back around and said, hey, put another round in it. Let's try it again. She shot it the second time, and then after that, I filled the cylinder up. She was good. You can't rush a young person on stuff like that, but teaching her the importance and value of these things, and you can't put a price on how much time you spent collecting these or waiting on something to come available. You might go 2 or 3 years looking for something and not see it, and then boom, one day you just walk into a gun shop or somebody you might know says, hey, I got this and I need to sell it, and it's exactly what you've been looking for.
You brought up an excellent point, and I do this with anyone that I've ever taught over the years, except for Daniel, because Daniel had some prior experience. So anyone else that I've ever taught over the years, minus Daniel, has always been one round. And let them fire that one round, experience what's going on with it, experience the recoil, and then we move on from there. And that is huge. Whenever you're teaching a new shooter, some of you guys out there may not have done this, but whenever you're teaching someone that's brand new to this, has no clue what's going on, please go out there and do one round only, and make sure you're paying attention to what's going on. Watch them carefully, and once they have that down and they have a good understanding of what's going on, then you can start moving on. Just like Garage Guy said, she felt comfortable, and he went ahead and loaded another one. She shot it, and then he went ahead and loaded the full cylinder and let her go all 6 rounds. So just understand that it's something that comes with time, but you have to start slow. And once you get people on that path, they'll run with it, man. They'll absolutely run with it. And once they see what the enjoyment is and have a good understanding of what's going on, you'll see something in their face. And as soon as you see that, it's an amazing thing to see. And once you see that, you can keep going on and going forward and progressively move them to different calibers and so on and so forth. So just something to be aware of.
And what you said there, what you said at the tail end there is a big thing. Don't hand a new fucking shooter a 500 Smith & Wesson. The hell's wrong with you people?
I've seen it too many times. They hand them either a 500 Smith & Wesson, just like you said, or they put a 30-06 or something fucking stupid.
Yeah, 50 AEs, just ridiculous, stupid shit.
Someone's hand has no clue what they're doing. Guys, please, for the love of God, please do not do that. I've taught so many people over the years how to shoot and how to get out there and do this and do that, and I've seen so many people screw up, handing people stupid shit like a 50 fucking AE or this, that, the other, or 30-06, and this person goes to pull the trigger, and next thing you know, bam, they don't want to shoot anymore. It's not about trying to get people to just get out there and shoot the biggest thing they can shoot. It's about getting people out there to shoot, have fun, and grow. Grow. It's not about making them run the fuck away because they're scared of it. We want this to grow. So in order to grow it, we have to make sure we start people off the correct way. And going from a smaller caliber and working their way up, that's the best way to do it. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a 22. It can be a 38 special. It could be a 357 Magnum. You just need to make sure that you're paying attention to what you do with that shooter when you're there with that shooter.
I've made the mistake of somebody that was curious, but that at that day all we brought was subcompacts and pocket pistols, and not knowing, because I didn't actually know this person ahead of that day, that they were kind of curious. And so as we started doing some shooting, they're like, hey, I'm really curious about doing that. And I'm like, not really the best of guns to start on, because this is going to be pretty snappy to you, because of just how small and compact and everything else. And they kind of, well, yeah, still let me try it, blah blah blah. And it still shied them away, even though it was only a 9mm. It still shied them away from pretty much shooting anything, because it was just small, compact. Even though it was 9mm, it was more than what they were expecting to be able to handle.
Yeah, don't hand somebody an airweight revolver and have them shoot that, because that there's way too many fail videos of stuff like that on the internet. There just is. It's funny to watch, but yeah, it's not funny when it happens to somebody that's around you.
So y'all know I'm a big revolver guy, and over the years, I've had a lot of people come out and ask me to shoot this, shoot that, and so on and so forth. And I always get the people that want me to shoot a Glock and do this and do that and all the rest of it. And it was about 3 years ago, I think, Alan, that I was out there, and we went and drove out and met Melser Mike, and Melser Mike first brought the Glock and wanted me to shoot the Glock, and I shot the Glock, and as expected, I shot it like shit. And then he hands me a Smith & Wesson Model 29, and I think he was expecting me to do really bad with it. And to his kind of what's the best way to put it, Alan? What do you think? What's the best word for it?
Term is kind of escaping me as well. He kind of he said the same thing about me shooting the Glock. He was expecting me to do horrid with it.
So basically, what happened, folks, was he handed me his 29, and said, "Here, you got a full cylinder. Do the best you can do with it, you know." And I never shot before, and I go down range. The first shot is a little bit high off the center of the bullseye, and the next 5 shots are all in the bullseye. And he's just standing there going, like, hold on, what just happened? And it's not tooting my own horn, but when you understand the gun, when you understand the caliber, and you know how to use it, that's what you're gonna get. When you throw a Glock in my hand, it's all over the place. I cannot shoot that thing for nothing. You put a revolver in my hand, I can pretty much hit what I'm aiming at.
Well, here's another thing. I was about my granddaughter shooting at 357 first time. I said single action. I said, don't try and pull the trigger back in double action. Your first time till you get used to it, single action only. She did fine. She tried double action a couple of times. Wasn't as accurate, but that's to be expected. You know, new caliber. Got to get used to it.
Yep. No, that's a good piece of advice.
Well, you'll see that a lot, and
oh, here's something else about revolvers, Smith & Wesson. And Jamie, you probably seen this. I know they got a new line of what they call mountain revolvers out, and they didn't have the keyhole in it. Now, I think it was early this week, Hillbilly put out a video for his wife's new 642. And I watched that video because I saw one in the gun shop earlier that day. The one in the gun shop had the keyhole in it. The one Hillbilly bought for his wife didn't. So I wonder if Smith's going to phase that out.
So from what I've heard, they are getting rid of the keyhole. I don't know if it's on every part of the line, but I have heard that they are eliminating it. So from what I heard, it was the classic line they're going to eliminate it on. But the models you're talking about and some of the others that I've seen are not in that list, but they are also minus the keyhole. So I'm not sure if they're just eliminating that period or what they're choosing to do as of yet. But I did see that they were looking to get rid of that. And Lipsy just released a video about 4 or 5 hours ago with a couple different guns that were also minus the the keyhole.
Right.
Yeah, down with the Hillary hole.
You know, speaking of ellipses, they put out a little Ruger LCR chambered in 32 H&R Magnum. I'd like to try that little guy one time.
So y'all fill me in on the power ratings of these 32s. Which one's the strongest? Which one's not? I mean, I know 32 ACP is fairly anemic.
I don't know. I'd say 327 Federal Magnum would be the stoutest, wouldn't it?
I know nothing about them. I've not researched them or shot them.
I think that one was just made to simulate the ballistics of 357 Magnum, but let's see. I got 32 S&W long right there. And let's see, what's this? 32 H&R Magnum right there, Federal. 95 grain on the H&R Magnum. Let's see what grain this is. 98 grain. I think 327 would be the stoutest. H&R Magnum would be next. 32 S&W long would come after that, and then 32 ACP. That's a more or less semi-auto round, but Mark Thomas shot that in his 327 Taurus here in a video we did a couple of years ago. Didn't have a bit of problem with it.
So I have a question that I know precisely how the Scotsman is going to answer. But is the Smith & Wesson 500 is that particular revolver worth $600 more than the Taurus Raging Hunter? Anybody got an opinion on that?
I'm a Smith guy when it comes to revolvers anyway, but damn, that's still a lot of money. That's a lot of damn money to go $600 more. I mean, God.
Look at it this way, Pat. 20 years from now, you buy both of them right now. 20 years from now, what's the Smith going to be worth and what's the Taurus going to be worth?
Oh, I know what the Smith is going to be worth. It's going to be worth way more than the Taurus. Yeah, if you're looking at it from an investment standpoint, yeah, I think it's a no-brainer. Go with the Smith. You know, if I had that little extra, I know what I would buy for sure. It would be the Smith. I've got a couple Smith revolvers, and man, I love a Smith revolver, man. It's good stuff. So it's hard to knock. Just my opinion.
Scotsman, did you hear the question, the topic question?
No, I missed it.
Is the Smith & Wesson 500 worth $600 more than the Taurus Raging Hunter 500? Is
Absolutely
it
not.
actually worth it?
Absolutely not. Here's the thing. So when it comes to these revolvers, there are so many that are overpriced, and it's not just Smith. You can look at the new Colts, and they're just ridiculously overpriced, and they're going off of old school hype. They're going off of things of the past and trying to bait people in that have previously had maybe sold off in the past. They're trying to bait those people back in to buy this particular one. And it's sad to see, but it happens a lot. And so many people are willing to go out there and spend that money for it. And that's why they stay so high. They are ridiculously freaking high. Don't spend the money on it. It's not worth it. Don't fucking do it. When it comes to any of these types of things, go old school. Look at the old ones. And yes, you're not going to get a 500. You know, there's not one that's an old one that's a 500. You're not going to get that, but you'll get you a nice 44 or something along those lines, and you'll be just as happy, if not happier. And you'll spend way less. They're much better quality. You sit there, you can admire the bluing, you can admire the artwork that went into what it is. You know, the pinned and recessed, the pinned hammer, the recessed cylinders. You know, and just sit there and be happy with what you have instead of overspending on something that, yeah, you're going to get some fun out of it, but are you really happy with what you spent? Probably not. You spent way too much fucking money for something that's going to cost you a shit ton more, because not only do you have the cost of the gun involved, now you got to buy dies for it because you got to reload for it, because buying freaking factory ammunition is through the fucking roof. So yeah, you got a lot more involved in it, and going with an old school Smith or an old school Colt, and I'm not gonna tell you to buy one or the other. Personally, I would always say Smith. That's just me. I like my Smiths, but there's nothing wrong with an old school Colt. But when you get into it and you start buying all the different things you need, so you're gonna have to go and buy the dies, the press, and all the rest of it again. If you don't have that already, you're dropping a lot of money in that. And buying this new stuff, again, it's just way overpriced. And they're trying to go for a niche market that's not there. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people that sit there and they start seeing this stuff come out and they jump on it and buy it. And as soon as that happens, the problem is once you have one or two, it just continues down the line. And as soon as that starts continuing, guess what? The price stays right where it's at, or it goes higher. Why? Because people are willing to pay it. And you got to get those people to stop doing that before the price is going to drop, or before you're going to see any kind of change in that market. You're just not going to see it. As soon as people keep on paying it, that's all that's going to happen. It's just going to keep on either sitting here or going higher. One of the two.
See, you touched on a subject that I was wanting to address. The original question was 500 Smith & Wesson. What is the practicality of that round? And you can throw the 460 Smith in there as well. What, unless you're hunting bear with a pistol, you know, I don't see a purpose for us 500 Smith & Wesson. I think 44 Magnum would do most what we need to do. 357 probably do most of what we really need to do. It's like so many of these new cartridges coming out, you got to wonder, and we talked about it extensively last night and Friday night, and I don't really want to get into that. I just want to know the practicality of the 500 Smith and Wesson and the 460 Smith and Wesson as well.
No,
They're not. They're not practical.
No,
Yeah, not at all.
you basically hit the nail on the head, man. There is none. It's unless you're hunting big game, there is none.
Well,
Yeah,
maybe-
absolutely. I mean,
No,
not that
Pat.
I have a
No,
500 for any practical reason.
No, Pat. No.
I wouldn't have a
Put that
500
back up.
for any practical reason. Now, would I want a 350 Legend revolver? Why the hell not? Especially if I got a 350 Legend carbine. If I'm out hunting with 350 Legend, I got matching cartridges. I'm good. And so, yeah, 350 Legend out of a pistol, that's a handful all in itself, right?
Well, my thoughts
500 literally is to just to say you own a 500 and teach new shooters how to shoot.
Well,
I think it's more than that. I think it's making up for other deficiencies.
Well, they do make a 350 Legend revolver, Alan.
They
So
do.
if you want one, they do make one.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I can't say that I haven't looked at it quite a number of times. In the S&W make, because why the hell not? That sounds cool. 350 Legend out of a revolver. That sounds fun all in itself.
350
Yep.
Legend does a number on deer too at short range. I'm just saying.
Now, yeah, no, this is actually what I was digging for, Jamie. I couldn't remember where the ammo for it was stored at. But the only reason that I would probably even have a 460, which I currently do have one in my possession, but it's not mine. I'm just doing videos on it, stuff with it, is it's a multi-caliber. You can shoot your 45 Colt out of it. You can shoot your 460, your plain 460 Smith out of it. So as far as the practicality thing, yeah, I mean, yeah, if you just wanted to plink with it, it'd be great for 45, even though that's expensive too. But at the same time, yeah. So,
I think
no.
where they missed the boat on both of those cartridges is not making a lever action for them, because I think they would
Right?
be excellent deer guns.
Oh, the 460 streaming out of there would be
Oh,
epic.
there is. They're just not cheap. There's a few different lever guns out there, Jamie, for that caliber. But you're talking. They start in around. I think it's right around $2,000. For that lever action, and it's if I remember right, it's Bighorn Armory. Bighorn Armory makes the one for the 454, the 460, and you're looking right around $2,000.
I think
Right.
Rossi makes a 454 Casull lever action, 92. Go ahead, garage guy. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're all right. That was something I was going to bring up a minute ago. 454 Casull. I think Taurus has some different model revolvers in that caliber. But right here's one I'm sure y'all ain't heard of in a while. 357 Maximum. $200 grain rounds.
No, I ain't heard of that.
Nice.
I think Ruger made the Black Hawk revolvers back in the might have been late 70s for maybe about 2 years for that. And they were usually used mostly for, well, competition shooting.
Silhouettes.
Yeah.
And
And
you gotta knock that big metal target over.
mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Anyway, fellas, sorry, Garage, I hate to cut you off, but I got to get going. I got to go check on cattle, and I got to go reload a wood stove down at my shop, keep some machinery warm overnight. So,
All right, Pat. Well,
Later,
before
Pat.
you go, man, what do you got coming up? You got anything going on? What do you want to plug? You know, do what you got to do, man, before you head out.
yeah, just everybody stay warm through this cold snap. Everybody stay safe. Make sure you got all your stuff in your vehicles and stuff in case you break down, you know. So just be careful through this cold snap. A lot of people don't intend to get in trouble, but sometimes cold likes to invite trouble, if you know what I mean. So, anywho, as far as me on the shooting end of it, hopefully this next week when it warms up, I can get back out to the range. I've just been busy with kids and farming and everything else. Livestock has just been taking up so much of my time during getting this cold. So I just got to keep after that. So priorities first, right, man?
Absolutely, absolutely, man.
Oh, of
Appreciate you
course.
being here, and you're always welcome, man. Appreciate you, and yeah, man.
Always.
Stay warm as you can.
Yep. Always, always. Well, gentlemen, have a good one, and we'll see you on the next one. And thank you,
Let's see,
chat
Pat.
out
Yeah,
there, for
Pat.
coming out. All right. Night, folks. Stay safe. Carry your weapon.
Good night, Pat.
Thank goodness he's gone. Good God. Oh,
Worse than a fucking woman, right?
wah. Bud Light drinking wah. No, I'm just fucking.
So Daniel's out there and says that I like my women dirty and hairy. Well, yeah, I mean technically you're not wrong.
I remember seeing some of those Ruger Blackhawks in 30 carbine. Six-shooter Texan says he's trying to find a contender barrel in 357 maximum.
I'm sure they're out there.
And you can use 357 maximum load data for 350 Legend, but the 350 is you can load the 350 up to a little bit more pressure, not much, but 357 max load data is going to be at the bottom end of the 350 Legend data. And there was when 350 Legend first came out, we didn't have a whole heck of a lot of load data, so we were looking up that 357 maximum data and going with that.
Well, and that happens a lot too, where there's not data on a lot of stuff we're trying to load, and we gotta just essentially try and figure it out.
Okay, we didn't get Kentucky rimfire, country rimfire. I keep calling. I'm used to Kentucky.
No problem.
So, country rimfire, you didn't get to answer the garage guy's Pat's question. I guess what PC carbine would you choose if you don't have one? Or
Oh yeah, I was seeing the 357 Magnum, and then you were talking about that Rossi.
yeah, those Rossies are pretty good guns, especially after you get them slicked up a little bit.
Yeah, I need to look into that now.
So, do you have any lever actions other than 22? Do you have a 357 or anything like that?
I got them in revolvers, but I don't have any in I don't have any other lever action except 22 right now. Well, I got a 32 and a 30-30 Winchesters, but they're old. I don't mess with them. They stay.
32 special.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Hunted with it when I was a kid. I got them from my dad.
that's basically just a necked up 30-30 cartridge, right?
Right. Yes.
Right, but that's cool that you got them from your dad, man, and that's something that you can appreciate and pass along too.
Right.
So that's very cool.
It's hard to find rounds for the 32. And there's also a 380 semi-automatic that I hunted with for a while. I'm not sure what the brand is, but I think it came off. I'm not positive. Don't quote me, but I think it came off of the 30-06 round somehow.
Not sure I've heard of a 380 rifle round.
280.
280, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have another one out there I've not seen before. We got Sweet Home Carolina. Welcome. And
Hey, man.
appreciate you being here. Haven't seen you before, but you're more than welcome. So thank you for being here. Appreciate you.
Jamie, have you ever heard of this rifle round? I think it's a 284 Ruger.
Seems vaguely familiar.
My granddaughter's maternal grandfather has a semi-auto rifle chambered in that round, and his father bought it back in 1970, brand new. And I've been meaning to get with him, and I told him if I could ever find a box of ammo in that round, if he'd let me do a video on it, and he said, yeah. So I've yet to find that round anywhere.
They are.
So I know of the 284 Ruger. I would if I was you, I would talk to CW.
CW.
CW would probably be your best bet on any kind of history and the best way to load that cartridge. I've heard of it. I've seen it. I've seen multiple guns in that caliber, but I don't have any knowledge as far as that round goes that I could give you. CW would be the way to go.
Well, your 280 and your 284s are basically 7mm.
Right.
Because the Country Rimfires cartridge, that 280 is basically a 7mm. It's going to be a 284 diameter projectile.
Oh, okay.
If I'm not mistaken. And you got 280 Remington, and you got the 280 Ackley Improved, which is basically the 280 Remington with steeper shoulders, more angled shoulder angle, which improves the case capacity. You can pack more powder in there.
Right.
Yep, Ozzy, we welcome new people, man. We want them here, and we'll definitely crack some jokes. And if they can't take them, then they know where they can go. That's pretty much how it rolls around here, man. We say what we say, and if you don't like it, peace out. All right, that's all there is to it.
I don't think so, MCK. M77, 284 Winchester. I think 284 Ruger is a very similar to a 284 Winchester, but I think it's obviously the same diameter, but I think it's a slightly different cartridge. But I'll look it up and get back to you.
We'll start going through the room. We're getting to that time. Garage guy, what you got going on, brother?
Well, I'm off from work tomorrow. This cold weather coming in, it looks like I'm not going to be able to get any shooting segments done. I've been trying to do that for the past month or so. Every time I get time off, rain, snow, or something comes up, I got all the other segments for the videos put out, but I just need to do the shooting segment because people get tired of just seeing unboxings and no first shots to go along with it. So I get the weather cleared up here. I can get the shooting segments in. I got a ton of videos I need to upload. Other than that, everything's going pretty much status quo.
All right, appreciate you, man. Good to have you on, and I hope you can get out and shoot soon, man. I understand the whole cold and bitterness thing. It's been pretty bad up here. The last 2 weeks, it's pretty much been snow every single damn day for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And this coming week ain't looking any better. So
No.
yeah, I get it. I'm right there with you, and yeah. Country Rimfire, what you got going on, man?
Well, at the end of the month, I got my giveaway coming to an end. It's a 22 target. And that cracker, my wife made it, and it got a lot of entries. So I'm pretty happy about that. I got to do Hasbro's BB gun deal still, but I can do that in the house.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you being here, man. And folks, if you don't know Country Rimfire, please go check out Country Rimfire. Jump over there, subscribe to him, and help him grow a little bit. Good dude, and glad he could be here. Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Jamie, what you got, brother?
Just trying to stay warm. Thanks for having me. It's been fun. Check us out Friday nights at 8 o'clock on the Georgia Shooting Connection. Quickly, Wikipedia says they're basically the same cartridge. And it's kind of like a 308 case. 7mm.
Okay. I got to stop you for 1 second. And I got to stop you because of this. Kyle, what in the hell are you thinking about? What are you saying, man? Dude, no. Absolutely hell no. No. Take that back. How dare you make that statement in our chat? How dare you?
You've been viewing long enough. You've seen me with a beard like here. As a man that can't be growing a beard right now, I'll tell you, no, don't. Just don't even think about it. No.
Yeah. Don't do it, man. Don't do it. Sweet Carolina is asking if hunting whitetail with 30-06 is a good round. Yep, 30-06 would be good. All depends on what state you're in, where you're at, and kind of distance you're looking at.
30-06 is a little strong, but yeah, it'll kill deer. I wrote a comment, if you're new, I'd recommend 308 before 30-06.
Yep. Sorry, Jamie. Please finish.
I'm done, man. I'm done.
I interrupted you.
No, man. I'm good. Thanks for having me, man.
All right. Well, appreciate you, man. Thanks to everyone up in the side chat. Guys, y'all rock. We had a lot of new people out there, and thank you to the new folks out there. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. There will be more videos coming. I'm horrible, absolutely fucking horrible at making that happen, but I do intend on making that happen. I've had a lot of stuff go on here in the last few months, but yeah, there'll be videos coming. And to those of you out there that are new, I also have a second channel, and that is Pop Goes the Weasel. And there will be videos coming on that channel as well. So please go over there and subscribe to that channel. I would really, really appreciate it. And the guy behind me, which is all this is for, would appreciate it too. And with that being said, I will throw it over to my good brother to take us up right. Allen, please, if you would, sir, take us out the only way we know how.
Yes, absolutely, man. You know, if there's somebody that's wanting to come after my most irrelevant gun tuber championship award, try it. That's all I'm gonna say. Good luck. But if you hadn't already heard, just a little bit of extra knowledge for you at the end of the show here. Erectile dysfunction, come to find out, according to all records now, is completely curable with diet and exercise. The hard part is getting your wife to diet and exercise. With that said, the only thing I got to remind you to do is to keep them magazines loaded and one in the chamber. Woo!
Yeah.